Welcome. You've got mail.
It's the Millennial Midlife Crisis Podcast with Justin and Sean. Take it away, guys.
Alrighty, everybody, what's up? I'm Justin, there's Sean. We are the Millennial Midlife Crisis Podcast, coming in hot on this Wednesday night, December 13th, 2024. Sean, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just peering into the distance of 7 more school days until winter break, and that's what's got me going at this point.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Got that, and I got to take my car into the shop. It's squeaky, which probably is not a good thing. So,
well, you know.
What are you going to do? But other than that, like I said, we are the Millennial Midlife Crisis Podcast. You can reach us in a variety of ways on your podcast app of choice. You can check out our quick little mini website at linktree.com/MMC podcast. You can find us on Facebook.com/MMC podcast 1, which is where you could be watching the show right now. Also on Twitter and my LinkedIn. You could email the show at mmcpodcast1@gmail.com or call or text the show and leave a voicemail at 1-815-905-CLUB. We got a big show tonight, Sean. It is the one, the only, the semi-annual, first annual Christmas Extravaganza episode. So we were talking about this, last week, this weekend, I don't know. What do we want to do for a Christmas episode? And we just figured we're going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at this for Christmas. So favorite Christmas movies, favorite Christmas TV shows or TV specials, Christmas songs, and best Christmas gifts you ever got. We got a couple different things here, but then we're going to get down to it, and we are going to see if we can figure out, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? And I did pull up, just to do a little research, I did pull up Bruce Willis's Comedy Central roast few years back, and he had something to say about that, so we can talk about that as well. But before we do that, we got to ease into the show. We don't want to start too crazy. So Sean, in order to tell people more about ourselves, he's prepared a few more questions for us. But before we do that, we are going to go back into the Wayback Machine. I just realized we need to do that first. We literally just talked about this. What?
No worries.
2 minutes ago, Sean.
No worries.
We are going to we'll bring back one of our segments. I honestly have not had a chance to work on theme music yet because children and life and work. But we are going to go all the way back to December 13th, 1994. That would have been 29. This is why I wasn't a math major. 29 years ago. Sean.
Yes.
Is there anything from December 13th of 1994 you want to take a guess at first, or should we just start? What would you like?
Just hit me. Well, I'll guess. I'm ready.
All right, Sean, what do you think? Oh, I love this song. What was the number one song on December 13th, 1994? It's tough.
I don't know why. I want to say it's a Salt and Pepper song. I don't know why.
No, I am sorry, but I can tell you the number one song for this week was Here Comes the Hot Stepper by Inni Kamoze. Have you ever heard that song?
I may have, probably.
That is a really good song. It's got a little bit of reggae Jamaican flair. It was also used in an episode of It's Always Sunny a couple years ago, which was pretty good. Number 2, Boys to Men, On Bended Knee.
Okay.
Good song. I remember that was definitely an early like Sony BMG catalog penny for CDs purchase that my parents made. Up next, number 3, we have The Real McCoy, Another Night. That is a song. Yeah. We play that for my daughter, and she runs around the house dancing to that song. So I don't know what that says about us as parents, but that's a jam. And I'm, now that I'm 36, I'm not afraid to admit that. 20 years ago, I would have said, oh, that song's stupid. Up next, number 4, sorry, I can't count, is Always by Bon Jovi. I do not know this Bon Jovi song. Do you know Always by Bon Jovi?
I don't know. It's one of those things, I guess I'd have to hear it. I'm sure there's somebody screaming right now, that was my prom song!
It probably was. And then lastly, Number 5. Oh, this is probably my favorite TLC song, and that is "Creep" by TLC.
Oh, okay. You're
Good
not a
song.
Waterfalls guy, really?
Waterfalls is
Is it
fine.
overplayed? Is that what you're thinking?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
overplayed, and "Creep," I just think of Michael Keaton and the other guys referencing all the TLC songs, and I know he mentions "Creep" at least once in that movie, so yeah, I think he also says "Don't go chasing waterfalls" too, but that's
Wow,
neither
but I
here nor
mean,
there. Who hasn't said "Don't go chasing waterfalls"?
who
Um,
hasn't chased said waterfalls?
yes, we also have now you're the movie guy, so I'm gonna be honest. I've seen one of these. What do you want to take a guess? What any of the top 5 movies on December 13th, 1994 were at the box office? According-
I'm going Forrest Gump.
I am sorry to say that is not correct, Sean.
Damn, I thought that was about that time.
Oh, wait a minute. The most popular movies on December 13th were the films released in theaters close. No, yeah, this is the ones that had the most, they made the most money this week. All right.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Whatever.
All right, number 5, Nobody's Fool with Paul Newman and Bruce Willis. Did you ever see Nobody's Fool?
Nope.
No, I couldn't tell you anything about that. Number 4, I have seen, and this movie is god awful. That is Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme, Raul Julia. I think it was his last movie before he passed away from cancer.
That's just sad.
Which I know the story I've read is that he did that movie for his kids because they wanted him to do that. And obviously it didn't go so hot. Number 3 was Little Women. I did not see that. Susan Sarandon, Winona Ryder, Kirsten Dunst, and Claire Danes. Number 2, I have never heard of this movie. Shallow Grave with Ewan McGregor and Carrie Fox
Ewan McGregor was
and Christopher Eccleston.
Ewan McGregor was popular enough back then. Like I don't want to sound shitty, but I didn't see that coming.
All right. And then number 1, I've heard of this movie. It's got Brad Pitt, Anthony Hopkins, Legends of the Fall.
I've heard of it too.
I've heard of it. I don't know anything about it. And then lastly, real quickly, the top 5 most popular TV series on that day: Florian 3, Rosa Roth, Picture Windows, Side Effects, and Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
I know one of those.
I know one of them, yes. I'm starting to wonder if this has got a British tint to it because I'm looking at the top 5 video games and 2 of them are cricket games. So,
I think you screwed me on this.
I think I did screw you.
Does the end of your website end in .uk by any chance?
It does not. It does not. I swear. I was thinking about that. Yeah, okay, the song is correct. The song is no. I don't know. I don't know what happened. But anyway, you know what? Let's move to a better segment. Sean, a segment that is Sean's wheelhouse. Sean, what you got a couple questions of the week for us. What do you got for us, Sean?
Well, in the spirit of Christmas, as we are, today, right now, which I want to point out, I do not have a Christmas sweater, but this is as close as I get. But I do have Christmas spirit right here.
Okay. What do you got? Oh, sorry.
Eggnog.
Eggnog. I have come around. It took me a long time to come around, but I really like eggnog.
That was leading into my question, was if Justin was an eggnog person or not, because it seems like you're either column A or column B. You don't hear too many people go, yeah, it's okay.
No, I equate eggnog in the holiday season with candy corn and Halloween. You either are in or you're out, and I am in on both. I love candy corn. And I love eggnog. Now you make it like a little spiced eggnog. Even better.
This may or may not have Fireball in it.
There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, no, I would say in terms of eggnog, I want it out of like a carton. I don't want it like I've seen movies. I don't know if people actually do this where it's just in a giant like I almost said a vase. No, not a vase. Giant serving bowl, and people kind of spoon it out, kind of like in Christmas Vacation.
Right.
There's something about that does not appeal to me. I don't know.
A friend of my boss's makes it every year, and it's I'm with you on the carton thing. But it's interesting to know that there are people that like, I'm gonna make it, and just I wouldn't even know where to begin.
No.
I would get salmonella. I
Yes,
would probably just put eggs and milk together and be like,
yeah, when you think about like the actual like what is eggnog, it sounds disgusting,
mhm.
but it goes down smooth. It's good. It's tasty.
Yep.
All right, what else you got for me?
Um, I think our tens of listeners want to know: are you one of those, like, especially now since you have the kids? Are you guys gonna like all dress up in the same PJs on Christmas morning and
Okay,
take the family picture under the tree, or are
I'm
you
gonna
just like come as you are?
I'm gonna say no, but I don't make those types of decisions. So, for all I know, Sean, there has been pajamas purchased for me that are being hidden somewhere in the house that I know nothing about. We did a couple
If
years ago.
not, there are now.
There are now. A couple years ago, we did a Halloween photo that was news to me, and I was given a skeleton onesie to wear for the picture. And then I was told, "Don't wear this again. Keep the tags on it because I know you're never going to wear it. It's going back to the store." And it went back to the store, and Erica
Hey,
got her money back. So
smart woman.
I don't think so. To be honest, Erica's working this year. She's working both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
Oh,
So
bummer.
it's gonna be pretty low key. And honestly, I hope the kids kind of sleep in. Mason's too young. Maddie understands Santa and gets excited when she sees him on TV. And she's gonna lose her mind when she sees presents. But other than that, that's probably it. So
Got it.
nothing too crazy. What about you? Are you and Kelly like matching outfits and all that? You don't strike me as that kind of couple.
No, except for we did do it for the one and only Christmas card we gave out like 5 years ago. So don't think that you are off our list or anybody else in our friends list that didn't get a Christmas card. We've done it
No.
once and just never.
If it wasn't for Erica, we would never have a Christmas card done. The only thing of Christmas cards I have a say on is she'll say, "Okay, here's the photos you can choose from." And then if I don't like any of them, it's my job to try and find a photo that I like that then she also likes, which is difficult. Um, this year we were supposed to all take photos. We were gonna, dress nice and take a photo in front of the fireplace, and that never happened. And
We did
yeah.
that. It was Kelly, myself, and Dixie, our dog,
Mhm.
and it went, but a hyper black lab trying to sit still, taking pictures.
Yeah.
I
No.
think if you look closely at that picture, if I remember right, I mean, there's multiple pictures. There's one where I'm trying to be funny and holding her ears, but it's more like I was just holding her. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
she's a ball of energy, and
Once you start throwing in the pets too, or children, or anybody besides yourself, it gets real dicey real fast.
didn't a famous director say like don't ever work with kids and animals?
That I can 100% support that. And I don't I don't direct. No, I remember one year Erica was trying to get a picture of Mac, and she was literally like it had gone on 10 minutes of trying to position him under the tree. This was before kids, and holding treats and carrots and
Yep.
things, trying to get him to look just right. I'm like, "Oh my God, no one cares. Just
We
take the
we
picture."
just we just went through that just as kind of a farce thing up in our place in Wisconsin. We bought one of those entertainment centers that have the built-in fireplace,
Oh yeah, yeah, those are nice. Yeah.
and we just wanted to take a nice picture of the dog in front of it because she was laying in front of it, of course, when nobody was paying attention. But then we were like, "Oh, that would be a cool photo op." Of course, then she comes walking over, or she's laying down, or not. She's not paying attention or whatever. So yeah, it was. There's
It's
some bumps in the road here and there.
it's I don't know, more work than it's worth maybe? Is that
You
too
give I'm in the book of like I'm giving it 5-10 minutes, and if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen.
yeah,
I'll give it a shot.
it's either going too quickly or you're done. So,
Exactly.
all right. Well, now that you've led us into this Christmas extravaganza, where do you want to start, Sean? You want to start with like best movies, best gifts you got as a kid? I mean, that ties into the 90s, best TV specials, there's always Christmas episodes of different sitcoms and cartoons. Where I'm going to give you full dibs. You take what you want with this one.
We could do the present thing because we were
Okay.
kind of talking about Christmas morning and whatnot.
Yeah. Any gift when you were a kid that like you just absolutely lost your mind, like that video of the brother and sister screaming because they got Nintendo 64?
Well, I can tell our listeners if most of them know us anyway, as we've talked about before.
Yeah.
I was very much a spoiled child on Christmas due to the fact that it is also my birthday,
That's right. I forget that every year.
as do I, but mine's because I want to.
Yeah, I
Um,
get that too.
so my point in this was I had kind of like carte blanche for like bigger items
Mhm.
where, like, because again, like we talked about before, we were not super well off. We were
Right.
comfortable, but not,
Solid middle
yeah,
class, right? Yeah.
absolutely. So, like you said, like getting an N64 or getting a PlayStation or something,
That was
that's
big
like,
time. Yeah.
so then that's when I would, I would go, I'd cash in all my chips, like birthday,
Mhm.
Christmas, yes, mom and dad, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, grandma, whatever, pull your money together, like this is it.
Yeah.
Um, I did get through the years, we did get some of the gaming systems, which was cool, but I must say, my mom, I think it was my parents, I should say, and my aunt and uncle chipped in one year and bought me I got to go to a race car school.
Oh, cool.
So it's a lot of people do it for, I know my father-in-law did it and stuff for like team building and stuff through their
Sure.
through
Yeah,
their
from
work,
work.
but you literally just you sit in a classroom for like it sounds bad, like an hour,
Okay.
and then there's your car
Yeah,
and you
that
get to
sounds
go.
kind of fun.
And I had my, obviously, like we said, my birthday's in December. I had to wait till like August, but well worth the wait.
Oh, yeah.
It's a story that I tell to people. I'll tell anyone who will listen, and even those who are not listening, just to hear me tell it again. So
Right.
it was a lot of fun. I don't think I'm on their naughty list, but I definitely was not their favorite that day.
Oh.
So when you drive, when you do this, they have what they call a spotter, and it's a guy that's up in the stands and he watches you, and you have a
Yeah.
radio. They give you a thing in your ear, and you put the helmet on, and he'll talk you through the lap. And because it's not hard, I don't want to make it sound like it's very difficult, but that's part of the realism too, is they have a spotter. At the
Yeah.
same time, they have professional drivers racing full bore. If you wanted to do what they call the riding experience, this is where you just sit in the passenger seat.
Oh,
So they
God.
got to tell you when those guys are coming up on you and
Right.
so on and so forth.
Right.
So anyway, I'm in contact with this guy. Part of the schooling is they tell you to be 3 feet off the yellow line, which is the bottom, 6 feet from the wall for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the real racers are like 6 inches off the yellow line and
Yeah.
right up against the wall as well. So anyway, I'm out there. First lap, just getting a feel for it. Love it. Having fun. Second lap, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it a little bit. And I dive bomb it into one of the corners, and I'm 6 inches off the yellow line. And the guy's on the radio, and he's like, "Dude," he's like, "We told you,
Yeah,
you can't run like this.
don't do
Don't
that.
run down there." And I was like, and in my head, I'm going, I know, I know, I know. So I go off the next corner, and I mean, I'm cruising, I'm having fun. Last lap comes, and I'm like, you know what? I may never ever get this opportunity again. So I
Right.
full bore just hammer down, go as hard as I can in this thing. And I get into one of the corners. And if anyone knows about like performance driving or anything, it stepped out. So the car got a little, what they call in NASCAR, loose,
Mhm.
to where the back end wanted to come around. Now
Oh, God.
I didn't go into full born drift,
Mhm.
but it's stuff just like if you're driving on ice. Sometimes you just got to make that little
Yeah.
little correction.
Little adjustment. Yeah.
Right. So I catch it and I make the little adjustment. And the next thing I know, I hear this dude in my ear and he's like, seriously, you cannot drive our cars like this.
Right. Right. Because that's got
And
to
I
be.
and
Yeah.
for some reason, the radio didn't work after that. I don't
It's
I
funny how
It
that
could have
works
been,
out.
I exactly. And same thing, they tell you to warm up the brakes before you come down pit road. I'm having such a blast. I completely forget
Minor
about that.
details.
I
Minor
come in
detail.
pit road, I'm coming in hot. I push the brakes. Brakes don't work that well. I'm trying to pump them up, get heat in them. I'm like, well, this is end of days for me. Here we go.
Had a good
And
run.
I go right down pit road, and all the guys are like, whoa, 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 and I was like over the moon, and I still am, and like,
That's a hell of a gift.
God, it was so
That's
much
a
fun.
hell of a
It was
Christmas gift.
absolutely so much
That's
fun. Well, it was
awesome.
Christmas, birthday, and it was a joint thing. So
Yeah, but still, that's awesome.
why I haven't done it since. Not because I'm banned, as far as I know. I think it's
Well,
more
I mean,
just
you might have to make a few phone calls first to find out, but
yeah. But I mean, if
oh yeah, it was totally
my
worth it.
lap times were comparable, I mean, at least I
It's
did it
totally,
right.
totally worth it either way. That's awesome. I'm gonna be honest. Mine, the ones that I have from when I was a kid, I don't know if they compare to that, but I have a couple that really kind of swing into like the 90s nostalgia. I remember in 4th grade, that was the heyday, the high water mark of starter jackets.
Yes.
And I remember I was lucky enough to get a starter jacket. My parents got me one. But I was always somebody who never wanted to get the ones that were like based on Chicago sports. I wanted to be the contrarian a little bit. So because I loved the color, I got a 90s teal blue Charlotte Hornets jacket. Now, keep in mind, this is also the glory days of the Bulls' second three-peat. And I was a Bulls fan, but I also was a Muggsy Bogues fan. So I had the Hornets one. So that was a big deal. And I don't know if you remember, those were the ones back then, at least, that were popular, were the pullovers where
Yes.
there was no zipper.
Right.
And that thing was so big on me. I wore that thing probably till close to middle school because it was just s- way too big for me. But
Well, and then it had like the kangaroo pocket in the
yeah,
front and all that. Yeah, because
yeah,
I had an Orlando Magic one.
nice, very nice. So
I
yes,
wanted a Bulls one. We couldn't find one.
no, I mean, I don't. Well, I think that might have been the thing too. Is like at the time, there's no way you're gonna find that, right? Like one of the biggest popular jackets on top of one of the most important franchises in sports at that time. So that was a really big deal. I had that forever. And the other two, obviously video game related. The first one I remember, it was Christmas of '92. I was kindergarten, maybe, I don't know, but I got a Sega Genesis. That was my big coming off of an original Nintendo that my parents had from before I was born, and then this was mine. I had Sonic the Hedgehog and NBA Jam and NHL '94 and all that kind of stuff. So that kind of was my gateway into that. And then a few years later, I remember my parents saved up and got me a PlayStation 1, and
That's
that was a big deal because that was
that
like
was yeah.
I remember I got a baseball game and my sister got Crash Bandicoot because they had to get her something in case she wanted to play it. And we have like video or VHS recordings of me being like to my sister, who's only 2 years younger than me, you got to be really careful. These aren't cartridges like Sega. Like you get your fingerprints on these discs and you're going to break them and I'm going to be
Done. Yep.
mad. And my parents are like, just relax, chill. It'll be fine.
You're like, no,
No, no,
no.
it will not. So there's plenty others. Like, I remember when I got my first like really good hockey stick for ice hockey and stuff like that. But those really spring to mind. I'm looking back on our Facebook page here. Let's see here. Marie wrote in and said for gifts, nowadays she enjoys anything that is warm and comfy. Candles, robes, throw blankets. I'm not there yet. I'm not I'm not there yet, but thank you for writing in. Um and yeah, I think that's the only one we have for Christmas gifts. Let me check. Hold on here. But yeah, like I just remember as a kid, it was such an exciting time. Like
Oh yeah.
were you a kid that would go snooping around the house looking for your stuff or no?
Not really. I did stumble across it once, and it was legit by accident.
Okay.
I what was it that I think I found a board game or something that
Okay.
my parents had I don't know, I guess bought and shoved in the attic, and I think I was looking for Christmas lights or something. I was helping them,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I was like, "Oh, maybe this is the bat." And I didn't say
Whoops.
a word. No, I didn't. I went
Oh no.
and I just because it was something that I had asked for, and I was just like, "Well, all right
We'll have to
then."
see how that turns out down the road.
Yeah.
I don't think my parents know this, and I know my mom listens to the show. When this was 2007, so how old was I in 2007? I was 20.
Mhm.
I've never done this before. I've never done this after. I remember they were gone. I don't know if they were out of town, but my parents were
Ah, shit.
gone.
Sorry.
Yes. I was by myself, and I remember I'm like, "I wanna know what they got me," and I was 20, like, it's not like I couldn't wait another 2 days, 3 days,
And
and I
plus,
remember
not to interrupt, but 20 is like the year it's at least in my family, it's like when you're like,
you're
"I
phasing
want
out.
this," and
Yeah,
it's like, "Okay." Like,
yeah,
there wasn't really
yeah,
surprises anymore.
no,
It was just
and
like,
I
"What do you need? What do you want?"
right,
This.
and I
Done.
just remember I'm like,
Good.
I really wanna know. I'm gonna blame whoever I was dating at the time. It had to be their fault because I clearly can't take responsibility for my own actions. So, I went looking, and sure enough, like, my parents, I don't know if it's because I am, not I was. I am a very trustworthy person. Like, they had them pretty much out and open in their bedroom. Like, I literally just had to open the door, and there was a bag, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that was something I asked. Oh, this is my stuff," and kind of took a peek, little looky loo, and I was like, "Huh, all right, well, that was cool." And then oh, my mom's in the chat.
Oh.
Hi, mother. Yes, I remember it was the year she got me NBA 2K6. It had Shaquille O'Neal on the cover for Xbox 360. So that was the one and only time I ever did it. I was 20. Yeah, 20. It was 8 9 oh 07. So I've still felt horrible, so horrible that I've never told them about that until now. I didn't know she was in the chat. I figured she would just listen later. Said it only took 25 years. It only took 25 years. I don't know what that means. I'm 36. That wasn't 20. Oh, oh, it was. It was 15 years ago. Yeah. Never mind. 16 years ago. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So that is my one thing I got to get off my chest. We also had someone write in from one of the Facebook groups I'm a part of who said their favorite Christmas gift was the year they got the GameCube when that came out. I think that would have been like 2000 or 2001. That was around the time as the PS2. So thank you to Michael for writing in about that. Sean, where do you want to go to next? You want movies, TV, music?
Um, we could do the movies. We could do the or is that gonna lead to the ultimate question? Should we save that for the
We
end?
could
I
say,
don't know.
yeah, we could save that for the end, I guess.
Alright, I guess TV shows then, huh?
Yeah, I don't in terms of TV shows, I love the It's Always Sunny Christmas episode. I don't know if you've ever seen that one. That's a really good Christmas special. They even work in a little bit of like the 60s Rudolph like puppeteering. It's
Okay.
it's really funny. You gotta like It's Always Sunny though, because it's dark. If you don't like It's Always Sunny, it's not for you. And do not watch it in front of kids. Would be my other thing. Um, but as a kid, I remember like The Simpsons had some Christmas episodes.
That's
I
how they
remember,
got Santa's Little Helper.
yes, that's right. I remember Home Improvement always had a decent Christmas episode because um it was usually Tim was trying to like win a lights contest or something, if I'm not
Right,
mistaken.
right, and
So
yeah.
I vaguely remember that. That's about all that comes to mind for me. What about you?
I know that there was a lot of TV shows did this, but the one that comes to mind is the Married with Children's.
Okay.
Because Al kind of has a "It's a Wonderful Life" moment, and
Mm-hmm.
his angel is Sam Kinison.
Oh, I do remember
You remember
seeing
that?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam Kinison. I just remember as a kid, I'm like, why is he yelling all the
I
time?
yeah, I you know what, to be honest with you, even as an adult and somebody who's literally studied comedy and stuff, I think he was funny, but
Yeah.
I don't get it as much as
No,
some people did.
no. And I've seen like a few, was it at least one time he was on SNL, I want to say. And even then I was like, yeah, I don't really,
Yeah.
not my style. Not my style.
Yeah,
I
no,
will say,
I'm the same.
totally unrelated. I watched the last two specials Mike Birbiglia did on Netflix. Those were actually pretty funny. I was kind of surprised. And they're really heartfelt too. Like I don't know anything about him as a comedian, but really good.
Good.
They're like a little over an hour long. But anyway, um okay, I got to ask you Christmas songs. Uh I've changed my favorite Christmas song as I've gotten older, but the one that I still hate to this day is Dominic the Donkey. I hate that song.
You and my wife are in the same boat.
It is so bad. That
It's not good.
no. No, that song, and I also am not a fan of Grandma Got Run Over by the Reindeer. Got run off, got run, see, I can't even say it right. Got run over by a reindeer. I don't know what it is. It just, I don't know. It's like, hey, Grandma's dead. We're gonna sing a song about it. Isn't that funny? I don't know. That it's just a weird
I
vibe for
I
me.
get that, but I know my dad really liked that song,
Hmm.
and it was like as a little kid when I first heard it, I thought it was funny. I I understand where people find it annoying and so on. I know my grandma hated it.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, because my I think and my dad used to kind of tease her with it too.
Okay. Here's one I have to ask because I literally every year I go back and forth. Now this year I like this song. Last year I hated it. Where do you stand on Paul McCartney and what is it called? Wonderful Christmas Time.
I've always liked that song. I
Okay.
grew up in a Beatles household,
Okay.
so between that and This Is Christmas, the John Lennon one,
Mhm.
they're okay in my book.
That one I don't mind. Yeah, the Paul McCartney one, there's some years I absolutely hate that song and it's just like it's too sing-songy. And then there's other ones other years I'm like, "Oh, that's really sweet." Hey, Jennifer's in the chat. She says, "We have a stuffed reindeer that sings and the kids always ask, 'Why is this a Christmas song?'" I would ask that too. All right. Oh, Kelly also writes in and says, "I hate Dominic the donkey and I
Told
want a
you,
hippopotamus for Christmas." I actually like the hippopotamus for Christmas song.
I'm okay
Um,
with it.
yeah. I will say, as a kid, my favorite Christmas song was Feliz Navidad, and I still like that. Jose Feliciano, I think.
Yep.
But as I've gotten older and a little sentimental, I am all about Nat King Cole and like
Okay.
the Christmas song, like real good. The other one, it's a running joke between my sister and I. My parents had the Amy Grant Christmas CD when we were kids,
That
and that
could
that
not be any more 90s.
that thing could not get played more if it tried. There must have been burns on that CD or grooves in it from the disc being read so many times over the holidays. But like because of that, that is like when it's November 1st, that is the first Christmas CD I put on or stream, and then I take pictures of it on my computer and I send it to my sister, and then we laugh because
Nice.
we have a weird relationship. So, what about songs you do like? Anything you do like?
I like a lot of the unorthodox stuff that a lot of people probably don't know too much about.
Okay.
If you're familiar with Brian Setzer,
Yes.
he
Oh,
has,
yes.
he has a Christmas album,
Mhm.
and it's all Santa drives a '57 Chevy,
Yep.
stuff that if you know me, you're like, yep, not
Yeah.
surprised that he
I
would listen to
still
this.
remember when he got was the Brian Setzer Orchestra they got real popular right around the same time as like the Cherry Poppin' Daddies and Zoot
That
Suit
whole
Riot,
intro
the
ska
ska
swing,
swing
yes,
revival.
yep.
Yeah.
But I'm also a Stray Cats fan from like before that
Oh
in the
yeah.
'80s. Yeah,
Stray Cat Strut and all that
yep.
stuff. Yeah. I literally just figured out what the Cherry Poppin' Daddies is in reference to like a week ago.
And Spunky the dog.
And Spunky the dog. There's a trend here that we're starting to notice,
And
Sean.
that's okay.
It's
That's
okay.
okay.
Um, yeah, that is a good one. There is one by an 80s band called The Waitresses, and it's Christmas Rapping, I believe it's called. That's pretty good. It's kind of got like a little bit of a punk ska vibe to it. It
Okay.
doesn't get played as much. It used to get played more. I haven't heard it this year yet. So I always seek that one out. I've kind of gotten away a little bit from the classic stuff. Like I like it, but I like when there's new stuff. Like for example, Jimmy Eat World, who was a band I loved in high school. I used to be able to play some of their stuff on the drums when I was in a band, but they did a cover of Last Christmas by Wham,
Okay.
and
Oh, I've heard it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's not bad. It's not bad.
No,
I know there is a online game that I've seen people played called Whamageddon, and you have to try and make it through the entire holiday season without
I
hearing that
just
song.
read about this maybe a week ago. One of my friends had it on their Facebook page.
I literally heard it like the first week in November, and I was like, I'm out.
I'm still in the running, I guess.
Wow.
And now this is going to be like the assassin game, and people are going to
Well,
like rickroll
Sean,
me
it's a
with
good
it.
thing I uploaded it, right?
Yeah,
No, I
right.
wouldn't do that to you. All right. Well, let's get to the big one, the movies.
Oh wait, wait,
Oh, wait, what do
wait.
you got? You
Let's
got
get
more
to the
songs?
big music.
All right. Oh,
Where does Justin stand on Mariah Carey?
at this point, I'm indifferent. I really liked that song.
I did not see that coming. Good for
I
you.
really liked that song when I was younger. But now I feel like it's so overplayed and it's kind of like been memeified. Like there's all these memes of her being like, Halloween is over, the queen is being
Yeah.
thawed, and you just see
Yeah.
her in like a vat of ice or a block of ice or whatever.
Right.
It's still fine. I mean, it's a good musically, like it's a fine song. It's definitely overplayed.
Yes.
Definitely overplayed.
It's funny you said about the memes because in like the car world,
Mhm.
there's a big meme and it's my car's making this horrible noise and it says take the Mariah Carey CD out.
Done. There's I think it's a Christmas Baby Please Come Home by Darlene Love. That's a really good one. That's kind of an older one. Oh, the other one that's probably like in my top 5 right now is the Drifters version of oh god, it's in Home Alone. Hold on, let me look it up. White Christmas by the Drifters.
Yeah.
That I love that song.
And that's a great version.
It is. And it's kind of just a fun, not goofy, but kind of just a little bit upbeat, little more
Because
fun.
that is the one problem with Christmas music. I think that's why I stray toward like Brian Setzer and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. There's like 5 Christmas songs, and
Yeah.
like everybody does a version of it, which is fine. You're 100% entitled to that. But I can't hear the same song
No.
over and over, and I don't care how many different people do it.
And
How many people?
especially
There's
if
still magic in Frosty's hat. I get it. I know. Thank you.
and that's a problem too. Like this year, I started listening to Christmas music right away, and so when you start listening after Halloween, you can only hear those songs so many times. Kelly writes in and says the Michael Bublé Christmas album is one of her favorites. That's another one I know my sister loves. The very first time she saw his name written down, she goes, "Oh, I didn't know his name was Michael Bubble," and I'm like, "It's because it's not." So we had a few other people write in. Let's see here. Melissa wrote in. She goes, I have an honest question. What makes a Christmas song or a Christmas movie enough to be considered Christmas? Most of the Christmas songs played are not Christmassy enough for her. For example, she says Last Christmas. What makes this a Christmas song? Because they say the word Christmas in it. The word Christmas is in the title, but really it's about someone with poor relationship judgment. She's really digging deep on these.
That's deep, and I didn't realize that we were like answering questions. Not that I'm against it. I love it. Keep the questions coming. I just didn't know that people
Saw it out.
seeking information.
Dr. Sean, you know,
Ugh.
PhD in thugonomics. I don't know.
Man, that's a great question. Truly, I guess by that definition, it's not a Christmas song.
Yeah. Well,
Because like
we'll get into that more.
Mentioned, it's about a troubled relationship that just happened to break up or whatever, have their issues around Christmas time.
Right. Jennifer writes in and says the only correct answer to the best Christmas song is Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays by NSYNC.
Nope.
I don't mind that song.
I don't do boy bands.
Well, okay, that makes sense. I get that.
Nope. I'm not a big Christmas fan either, so that's 2 strikes right there.
Let's see. Melissa wrote in a second time. She said, all I want for Christmas is You is probably the best Christmas song there is with a great message. It's not about the presents and decorations. It's about who is there. Unfortunately, it's been so overplayed that people get annoyed by it. Sure.
I kind of agree with that though. She's right, because in the same, like in the Wham song, it's or whatever.
I gave you my heart, and yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm more of a cursory listener. It's just like la la la. I'm not.
It's background noise.
Yeah,
yeah.
But I do get her message. I get her idea there, so that does make sense. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's any others that are calling my name. Got any other songs?
I mean, I'm good with the classics like the Elvis Christmas. That was another one
Blue
that
Christmas.
Was played. Well,
yeah.
Just his whole
the whole collection. Yeah.
It sounds like Office Space. I celebrate that guy's entire collection.
I also am a fan of some of the Beach Boys Christmas stuff. I think that's pretty good.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Baby. That's a cool song. Yeah.
Yeah. In what is it? Little Saint Nick. I really like. That's a good one too. So a lot of it is the ones that you don't hear on loop, like you might
That's
hear once every couple weeks, and those are the ones I
that's
really
my
enjoy.
point. Yes, yeah, because like I said, I can hear Frosty once or twice,
Yes.
and then I'm out.
Yeah, Frosty is one.
Well, I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah,
No, no, no. But I'm glad you brought that up because Frosty is one, both the show, the TV special, and the song. I kind of like, I'm good. I don't really need to. I watched it every year as a kid
sure.
and enjoyed it, but I get it. He's going to be in a greenhouse. The snow's going to melt. We're going to do this all over again next year. All right, let's get to the movies while we're at it. Sean,
Yep.
movies. Let's start with movies you enjoy around the Christmas time that have a Christmas vibe. What do you got?
I mean, you got to go National Lampoon's Christmas
Oh,
Vacation.
number one with a bullet for me.
Um, it's slightly unorthodox again, but that's just me. I love Bad Santa.
I'll be honest, I've never seen Bad Santa.
Really?
Never. And I don't I like Billy Bob Thornton and stuff I've seen of his, so I'm sure I would like it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's those are my two, other than the one that we're saving for the end.
yes. Okay, you have to tell me if I'm just being too anal retentive or obsessive compulsive on this. When I go to drop the kids off, uh, on the corner of the subdivision that our sitter is in, someone's got the light up Clark Griswold inflatable of him like connecting the lights.
Okay.
Great. And then he's also got the family truckster with the tree attached to the top, like in the movie.
Mhm.
However, the family truckster that they've used is the one from the original Vacation, not just the normal,
So it's
like,
the truckster, not a normal wagon.
yes. And I have to cry foul. You are not a true fan because that is not the correct car. That is from the wrong movie.
I'm a stickler for that kind of stuff. So yeah, no, I agree
All
with you
right, good.
100%.
Because literally every day I pass it, I'm like, oh, that's not right. That is not right. Like, I get it, but you know, reviewing the movie would have been very easy. It's probably like a tourist wagon or something. I
It
don't
is.
know.
That's exactly
Is
what
that
it
what it
is.
is? Okay. So anyway, yeah, Christmas Vacation number one, Home Alone
Yeah.
probably number two, tied with like a Christmas Story. There's something special though about a Christmas Story. Like we would maybe watch that once after Thanksgiving, and then we wouldn't watch it again until the all day 24-hour
Mhm.
marathon on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, whatever. Um, where do you stand on Jingle All the Way?
It's okay.
Yes.
Um, I to be honest, I need to see it again because I saw
Okay.
it. I think I've only seen it once, and I saw it like pretty close to when it came out
Yeah.
because
Oh, wow. Yeah.
it's not like in the running. Like you could go to your TV right now, and one of the movies that we just named is on.
Are
I
all on
guarantee it.
24/7. Yeah.
Right, right. And in it's just Jingle All the Way for whatever reason is just not in the running, or
Mhm.
I shouldn't say in the running. It's not in the lineup. It just never seems like it's on.
I have a soft spot for Arnold Schwarzenegger, so I definitely will seek that one out. I think I own it on DVD. I'm looking at our shelf right in front of me right now, but there's a lot of good one-liners, and Phil Hartman and Sinbad, to
Yeah.
me, great. Is it stupid? Yes, I will be the first to
Well,
admit that. Um, all right. In terms of classics, are there any classics that you enjoy? Like, I'm talking like,
like It's a Wonderful Life or something like the
yeah, like
black and
really
whites
black and
and
white
all that kind of
or
stuff. I'm
pre
not
pre 60s, pre 50s, you know. What
no.
about Miracle on 34th Street? Any
Mm,
fascination with that? That
mm.
is one that as I've gotten older I really enjoy. The original, I've never seen the new one. But oh, Erica's now in the chat and she's agreeing with Jennifer about NSYNC. Go figure. Didn't see that coming. Um, she was trying to get the Alexa to play that the other day, and the Alexa's like, "You don't have Amazon Music. You can't just pick what you want to play." Always works for me though. It's funny how that works. I love Miracle on 34th Street, the original, and I don't know where I stand on It's a Wonderful Life. Like the movie after he jumps in the water and then Clarence shows up, I like that half of the movie.
Right.
The first half or three quarters, like I get it setting up the whole ending, but man, is it drawn out.
No, I agree with
You
that.
know,
I'm just like, you know.
I used to do a really good George Bailey impression, but I'm not going to do that on a podcast that goes out to dozens of people. So next time you see me, I'll do it for you, Sean. Involves Zuzu's pedals. Anyway, yeah, Charlie Brown Christmas. Thoughts one way or the other?
That's good. I forgot about that, to be honest with you.
That's one. I like that. I used to always make it a point to sit down and watch it and DVR it, but now that it got moved to more, I think it's on Apple TV like only. Haven't had time, and we don't have an Apple Plus subscription or Apple TV Plus subscription currently since Ted Lasso ended. But I know Erica is a staunch believer in the like It's a Weird Wonderland Charlie Brown Christmas 2 crap. I don't know what that is. It's not the original. It's like they made another one in like the late 80s, and it's all different sound. It's not like sound alikes. They don't sound the same. So
probably not.
Kelly writes in and says the Jim Carrey version of The Grinch is one of her favorites. I have never seen that version. No, that Jim Carrey always scared me. Like him in the costume always creeped me out.
It's good. I think that's another one where it has its moments where it's a little drawn out and it's a little slow motion, but he's fantastic.
I'm sure that I don't doubt. And I know they did another like CG Grinch movie like what within the last 10 years. I want to say it was the people that did Minions did it. I don't know who does the voice.
That sounds right.
Never saw that. I've only seen the original, and I could take or leave that. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting into like a grouchy old man. Like Rudolph, fine.
Yeah,
I liked it more as a kid. You know, if Santa has a naughty and nice list, why weren't all the other reindeers on the naughty list? Like, come on. You should know that they're being jerks to Rudolph. Santa was a jerk to Rudolph. That's the real Santa's not who you think he is. Yeah.
What about perfect jumping off point? What's your thoughts on Tim Allen and Santa Claus?
I like
the Santa Claus. Or
I remember seeing the first one. I've seen it a handful of times. I enjoyed it. I never saw the second or third or fourth or fifth one that's on Disney Plus now. So I can't say anything else about those. But that first one, I saw a thing on Instagram today. It said that Tim Allen's character in that movie is supposed to be 38. So that really bummed me out. Yeah, I don't want to be Santa Claus. It's too much responsibility, and no thank you. But yeah, it's not bad. The Elf Squad or Elves or whatever that secret group was? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When you go to rescue him. How
about Elf?
Elf is like a full-blown classic to me now. Like when it first came out, I was like, this is fine. But now that is one that's probably in my top 5 for sure. I really like that one. Erica wrote in and said the correct title is called It's Christmas Time Again, Charlie Brown, and it's better than the original one. Darling, I love you, but we can't be right all the time. No one is perfect. What can I say?
As he walks the door
I'm going
to
to walk upstairs and my stuff's going to be on the curb. Anyway, should we get to the debate here?
I think we should.
All right. So I don't know when this started. Maybe like since we were in high school? Is that when I don't remember this being a thing when we were kids.
No, it was not a thing when we were kids.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, every year there's an argument on social media at this time. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? So, Sean, I'm going to throw it to you because I honestly, this is going to make for a great podcast. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm a great fence sitter and I do that really well. I'm going to try and not do that here. But I want to know where you stand first, and then maybe I can kind of get some ideas bounced off of you.
Well, then, my friend, let me put on my big city lawyer type suspenders and make you believe and walk on over to our side that yes, indeed, Die Hard is a Christmas movie with the caveat that this is going to be the real controversial take, my friend.
Ooh,
as is Die Hard 2. Because it also takes place on Christmas.
That's true. And there's snow in that one.
There is. You ready for this?
Yes.
The original Lethal Weapon.
Okay.
Takes place around Christmas time.
True.
And somebody just pointed this out to me not too long ago. The original Rambo takes place around Christmas time.
I saw that online. Oh, that might be a bridge too far for me. But yes, I think you're right. I think doesn't Gremlins take place during Christmas too?
Yeah, that's another one. Yes.
I've never seen that, but Yeah, I don't. So we do have to piggyback off of that. Melissa wrote in and said yes, it is a Christmas movie. Erica wrote in and said no. Erica does not like that movie. I was so excited to have her watch that a couple years ago, and she's just like, "It's fine." I'm like, "No, it's not fine. This is like one of the best action movies ever." Um,
And you know what's cool about it? And this is why I think she doesn't like it, but we do.
mhm.
Because Bruce Willis is like Joe Everyman. He's
Yes,
not Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's not Stallone. He's not like hugely
he's
buff.
not
I mean, he's
jacked.
in good
No,
shape. Right.
yeah,
He's in good shape, but he's more just like cunning, and then
mhm.
he's funny, and it's just
Yes,
fantastic. And it's not
yes.
Christmas in my house if I have not watched it.
That is true. I do lean that way. Lynn wrote in and said she watches Die Hard at Christmas every year, but Christmas Vacation is her favorite.
That's fair.
My mom wrote in, Robin wrote in and said favorite Christmas movies: Christmas Vacation, Rudolph, White Christmas, Home Alone, and Christmas Chronicles. That's the Kurt. What's his name? Another '80s action star, Kurt.
Not Kurt Russell.
Yes, Kurt Russell plays
Oh, it
Santa
is Kurt
Claus. Yeah,
Russell.
he
Oh,
plays
okay.
Santa Claus in that. Um,
Yes. I know what you're talking
They
about
made a
now. Yeah.
sequel to it too on Netflix, another sequel recently. And Goldie Hawn's his Mrs. Claus in it, and
Right.
I
Let me throw this at you before I forget real quick.
yes,
Are
what do you
you
got?
familiar with the movie Trapped in Paradise?
I feel like I should be.
Nicolas Cage, John Lovitz, and Dana Carvey. They're three brothers and they
No,
rob a
okay.
bank in a small town on Christmas Eve and they get stuck there.
I think at some point I must have had that on, but didn't know what it was because that sounds vaguely
It's
familiar.
not the best movie, but it's entertaining enough. And I just like I said, I like to throw the curveballs if no one's noticed that by now.
So we did have we also had a Twitter poll online, and 66% of the people said yes, it was a Christmas movie. 33% said no, it wasn't. So yeah, I mean, it's a movie I enjoy. I love. I do hope to find it. I mean, I own it. I could watch it anytime, but I don't know. I am a big proponent of like if something's on and just sitting down and watching it when I have time, which is never now. But um yeah, like that movie, there's so many good one-liners.
Oh
And
god,
Hans
yeah.
Gruber is an excellent villain.
Great bad guy.
Great bad guy, you got I almost called him Officer Winslow. I know that's not his name in the movie, but
I don't know if you learned his name. Carl.
I
No,
thought Car
I almost said Carl.
I
No, Carl's the
Winslow. I thought they give each other names when they're on the walkie-talkie, when they're on the
That's what I'm
radio.
trying to think because he calls him Roy Rogers.
Yes. And keeps calling him Roy the most of the
Right.
show, most of the movie.
I think he just
Um,
calls him partner, doesn't he?
yeah, maybe he does. But oh, see, now I gotta look this up. I need
Welcome
to
to the
know.
party, pal.
Yeah, the ho ho ho. I now have a machine gun.
I have that T-shirt and I wore it to work yesterday, and I was so mad that I couldn't wear it today.
So yeah, like I said, Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber is excellent. Sergeant Al Powell. They do
That's
they
it.
do call him Al a couple times in that. But I just remember him walking out of the convenience store or gas station, and he's got all the Twinkies,
Yep.
and then he, pulls up. They start shooting at him. He throws it in reverse, and he's screaming on the radio, "Get down here!"
Yep.
Yeah, just a great movie. And see, now I just want to go watch it.
I was just thinking the same thing. No,
And
the one-liners are great. The action's cool in it because it's real. It's not overly CG. It's not overly
no,
done.
Nakatomi Plaza.
Which is the Fox building, actually.
Yes, yeah. That is Now I know Bruce Willis. We mentioned it earlier in the roast he did with Comedy Central. This probably was about 15 years ago. He said he considers it not a Christmas movie, if I'm not mistaken, right?
He does say that.
So, I don't know, but I mean, I feel like there are Christmas vibes to it.
I mean, he knocks over a Christmas tree when he's running up the
That's
stairs.
true. He
They're
does.
at a Christmas
They're at a
party.
Christmas party. What's that? Oh, what is the guy that works for the company that's just a complete a-hole?
Oh, Ellis.
Ellis.
The guy
You
who's
don't know
doing
what you're
coke
doing,
on his
Ellis.
wife's desk.
Yeah.
This is Holly's husband. He's a policeman.
What are you doing, Ellis? They're gonna
Yeah.
kill you.
Oh, John, we've been all. How can you say that? We've been friends all these years.
I don't know this man.
Uh,
And then you got the reporter,
yes.
trying to get the scoop. He gets punched out at the end.
Yep.
You got Al Powell mentioning how he's afraid to shoot his gun because he accidentally shot a kid who he thought had a gun.
Yep.
And then he comes through at the end and he saves the day when, is it Carl? Was that the terrorist?
I think
Yes.
so. Yeah.
Carl gets up like out of the body bag he's in somehow and starts screaming. And then who's there with like the Magnum or Colt Python, whatever it is, and he hand cannon, he takes him out.
Yep.
And
then everyone had a Merry Christmas.
yes. And I love the limo driver.
Oh yeah, Argyle.
Argyle's
Yeah.
great. Argyle's looking old. I'm looking at his photo on IMDb. It's really
Or
depressing.
even just the opening. I love the conversation. You know what's fun about that movie too is to see how old it is. The fact that he open carries on an airplane.
Yes.
I think
It's
he
like,
smokes in the airport.
I think he does
I
too.
mean,
Come to
and
the
if
coast.
if he doesn't, he definitely smokes in the airport in the second one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a series, I'll be honest. 1 and 2, one I love is my favorite.
Yes.
2 is decent. 3's decent. 4 I didn't really care for.
I love 3.
With 3's with Samuel L. Jackson, right? That one's pretty
Jeremy
good.
Irons is the bad
Jeremy
guy.
Irons, yes. 4 was Kevin Smith and Justin Long in
Yeah.
4. That was okay. That was where
okay.
it started to jump the shark a little bit.
I thought that would have been a good movie had it not been a Die Hard.
Yeah, I think I could see that.
If they,
yeah,
instead of Bruce Willis being John McClane and John McClane's in trouble again and all this other stuff,
just
if
make
it
it
had
an
been
action
like,
movie.
right, yeah, just an independent, just it could be, and you could even do it the same format, cop or whatever.
Yeah,
goes to get Justin Long. Actually, it could have been like a bounty hunter. I mean, who cares?
This is Officer Ron McShane.
Right.
His wife is Molly Lanaro. I don't know.
I guess you're right. Oh, that's another one. That's another part in the first one that shows the 80s technology that he looks up her name on the computer.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
The old black with the green
like
letters.
The DOS, like the console commands. Yeah. That is a great.
It's fun to look back at the old technology in a lot of these like movies and stuff.
And I don't know about you, but like I kind of get nostalgic. I'm like, man, I kind of miss those days. It was a simpler time.
Dude, as a lot of you guys know, I work with a lot of high-end cars and stuff. I worked with a BMW today that it had automatic doors. You push the buttons and the doors opened. I could open the back doors from the front by pushing a button. Yes, this is cool, but I had to get it. You had to like hit the button twice if the car was still running to get out of the door, and it was. I'm like,
what happens when the motors or whatever that does that break? Can you?
It
still
has
get
a manual override.
Oh, it does?
There's a real handle, but it's like hidden. It's sort of hidden. I mean,
the idea of
it's
somebody in a Beamer being stuck just makes me laugh. I'm not gonna lie.
Right, but I mean, it's a showpiece. Like if I won the lottery and I bought that car, I bring it to your house and I show you once, and then you're like, "Oh, that's cool," and then we both move on with our lives. Like that's not necessary.
No, you're right. Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to explain. I was in a classroom the other day and I was going over some programs with the kids, and I'm like, you guys don't realize, and then I just sound like an old man, like back in my day, we had to walk uphill 15 miles. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like you couldn't just go on the internet. You had to connect to the phone. And if somebody picked up the phone, goodbye. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, but I digress. Anything you want to add about Die Hard? Anything you want to add about? Oh, see, now my brother-in-law's in here saying, Jake says, well, you are old. Thanks, Jake. Wow. Jake's only like a year or two younger than me. So, and he's a Packers fan. So he's got a lot of problems. Yeah, I know. That's what happens.
Is there a ban button? Can we?
Yeah. Automatically.
Just kidding.
Kick him from the.
Great. Now we have 2 fans. Terrific.
We just cut our fan base in half. Way to go. Yeah, so I don't know. I think we've come to the conclusion Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Now you went on the limb that you would consider Rambo or First Blood a Christmas movie.
I said that more to stir the pot. Okay. Yeah. I don't consider that a Christmas. Okay, I will say I do kind of consider the first Lethal Weapon a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
They do. I mean, Murtaugh's house is all decorated before they drive the car through it, and
Yeah.
so on and so forth.
I totally get that. So, all right. Well, we've succeeded in our goal here, but you know what that means, Sean?
Whoops, you know what the music means. Our time is up.
All right. Well, there you go. There's our Christmas episode. We've
But I
run
want
through
to
movies,
more.
TV. That's what we do best. TV specials, music, songs, movies, Die Hard, Christmas movie. Yes. We hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, or New Year's. I don't know. Just have a nice holiday season. And we'll be back either next week or the week after that. I don't know. We'll see. Sean, you got anything you want to add?
No, just happy holidays. Stay safe. And have a little eggnog with me.
There you go. I might have to crack some open. Yeah, if you're on Spotify or Apple Music, iTunes, whatever, just a 5-star review. That'll help push the podcast further up in the listings. And we'll catch you guys later. Have a safe holiday and take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.